want to bring up his teeth again. It's getting boring. They're massive!
Stop fighting, come on.
No, she's a lovely, lovely lady, and a lot like Vincent. She's quite feisty, like she won't take, and also because she's an ex-model, she might help Amy out a little bit, and you know, and also Mo's a bit older, so she's a bit older, might be a nice bit of company for Mo. So I think she's going to tick a lot of boxes. I think them two are going to fit in nicely.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that can kind of bond with, isn't there?
True. Yeah, there's plots of people there. She said she wants to put posh people in a better light, Kimberley. How do you think she's going to do that?
Don't talk to me then. Do you know what? I think that would be quite good if she can show a different light, to be honest, because I think we do have our perceptions of posh people. Yeah. Maybe being...
Are you posh?
Come on now.
I'm just for the accent. To an Irish guy, that accent sounds posh.
I'm not feeling anybody with this accent.
Who do you think she'll bond to there? Because she's got that kind of posh, I suppose, maybe David or...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
She seems quite good fun, though. She seems quite up for it. So maybe she'll actually enjoy being around so many different types of people, because that's one of the best things about being thrown into that situation.
She didn't come across as like a lady's lady. She come across as kind of a bit tomboyish as well. So she's going to get stuck.
And flirty. She seemed a bit flirty.
Yeah, she was. She was really
We're talking about her with getting on with people, not just with Joe.
Can you blame her? I'm only joking.
How do you think she'll get on if she is forced to do a trial? How do you think she'll do with the physical aspect, Brian?
Well, then we'll see what posh people are like in the light when they have to eat maggots and stuff. So, I don't know. It's all good lying in a hotel bed with your legs crossed, beside Joe Swash, but...
great. Like, she looks great.
She'll
be different in there.
She'll do really well, and she's chomping at the bit to do it, because we spoke about things, I said, like, about the trials, and she really wants to get the full experience, so I think she's going to be quite...
You don't know that, because everybody talks a great game on the outside when they're all... Before they go in, everyone has this big thing. And as soon as they get in, everybody changes, and sometimes it's the weaker characters. I didn't think that Joey Essex was going to be as good as he was at trials, and he's ended up being a superstar in the trials. Yeah. And, you know, some of the other people have kind of failed where you thought they'd be great, so you don't know until they get in there. It's a different world in there.
Yeah, completely. Rob, what are people at home saying about our late
I'll kick off a bit of general consensus and crack in with some specifics from Alison.
OK, here we go. Well, that's what we have you here for.
Consensus is I think they're going to get a bit of hostility, the new arrivals, when they arrive in camp, because they're a bit settled. Alison says, we all know that Vincent and Annabelle walk into a hornet's nest. The late arrivals are always treated badly, like they're second-rate citizens.
Yeah. They do that. Yeah. They are treated like... But I think these two have got... They've got rhino skin as thick as a rhino. I think it will just bounce off of them. They won't take any notice.
And they both seem like likeable characters, so they'll just slide in there, hopefully.
Well, we say just slide in there. It's a kind of a tough journey for them to get in there. They have to face our overnight challenge. Let's have a reminder what they have ahead of them.
They'll be all right.
How are they going to cope with that? Because, you know, it's all well and good going in there.
I just
said to Joe, I think Vincent's going to be hilarious.
Do you think that he's scared of all that stuff? How is he with creepy crawlies and stuff?
He's so dramatic. He's so over the top. Like, honestly, it's
now how bad are those dancing shoes sounding?
Yeah, you're right. They're not going to help him in there, that's for sure.
How do you think Annabelle's going to be in there, Brian?
I think she's going to hate it. You know, I think you can see she seems to like her luxuries and the finer things in life, and that, it ain't fine in there.
Let's see.
I think Vincent's one of those fellas whose reactions are as funny as Rob's jokes. They're really, really funny, his reactions. So if you're going to be in there with anyone, I'd want to be in there with him. So I think he would entertain you.
He's a real gentleman. I think he'll really look after her in there. So she's be all right with him.
Well, we'll find out soon. Thanks, guys. And remember, Kimberley and Brian will be back to answer your calls on emails live and direct later. And if you've got a question for them, visit the website and let us know. Joe's flying down to the location of today's trial, hang glider of hell, to see what Amy, wait for it, has waiting for them. Now, Joe, off you go.
Wait a potato!
You just call me a potato. Anyway, plus we bring you the steamiest shower scenes of the series so far. Honestly, you don't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. Hey, let's get that guy. That guy's really good. Joe, if you want a day off, we've got it sorted. You're fine. Now, Kimberley and Brian are still here itching to answer some of the questions you've been sending in. We start with a caller. We've got Bridget from Plymouth. Hello, Bridget.
Hello, Laura. Good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Excellent. What would you like to say to our panel?
Well, I would just like to say I think there is going to be fireworks that's going to explode in the Django, and I think Lucy's loading the gun for Amy and Rebecca, and I think they're going to fall for it, and obviously it's going to be bad feelings in there, and it's not going to be long.
Would you agree with Bridget there, Kimberley? She's loading the gun.
Maybe she's kind of stirring it up a little bit. But I think we kind of need to maybe give her a little bit of a chance. We'll see how it...
She's got to help herself, though, as well. She's got to start enjoying the experience, you know, trying to make bonds and getting on with people. Because at the moment, she's just been quite cynical. And all this, I don't like celebrities. You know, what have we done to her? What have we done to her?
You know what, the thing about Lucy as well is she's the only person that hasn't had a moment. You know, there's been other people who've been boring.
Hasn't had her chance to
Carlton's been boring as hell, but then he has one little thing that kind of makes you go, oh, it's funny. But she hasn't. She hasn't had one moment
Do you think, Ryan, she knows what she's doing? Like Bridget kind of implied there that she's loading the gun. Do you think she knows what she's doing?
No, I think that's just her personality.
Really?
And she's just a bit spiky. She would make me feel a bit on edge.
We like feisty ladies.
We love a bitch.
She's good.
We love a bitch.
Not spiky. You're a poet.
Bridget, thank you very much. What are people saying at home, Rob?
Everyone's quite happy to see someone new doing a trial. Because it's been Joey, innit, the whole time. There's a question here for Kimberley from Shane at Shane Reaction. Which Bush Tucker trial so far made you go something kind of ooh? I see what he's done there. We're doubling up here, we're running out.
I didn't like the look of that up to your neck in it. From a bit, do you know what? A bit from a claustrophobia point of view, because you know the arms were like trapped from the beginning, and then the poor guy got the thing in his ear, and I was like, yeah, that's a bit too far.
The only good thing about that trial, it's the only chance in the jungle to scratch your nuts in person. That's the only
Very true.
Brian, how do you think Amy is going to do in this trial?
We don't know. We haven't really seen her do anything yet, have we? No. So I think this is going to be a good test of her personality. I think, you know, she's had a bit of trouble with Rebecca and stuff today, and she's been a bit ditzy with the whole Joey thing. So this could be her chance to stand out on her own and kind of prove, you know what?
She did say before she went into the jungle she wanted to kind of break that stereotype of beauty pageant queens. Do you think that she will go in there with that mentality?
Yeah, well, that's it. I think just watching her kind of with the other campmates isn't going to show us what she's about. A trial is always the best way to see what people are made of. And I think today we'll find out. We'll find out what she's made of.
Is a good idea as well. Look, keep that undercover.
She's like a boxer.
Cockroaches in that.
She's ready though. Look, she's focused. She's like a boxer getting ready.
Focused. She's good. She's in the zone.
She's got to do, I think.
Joe, what else have people been saying?
Well, I've got one for Kimberley. It's from Charlotte Haynes, and it says, "Would you ever go in the jungle yourself?"
No. No.
Because we're going to put you in right now.
Honestly, forget all the critters, all of that. I actually just don't know if I could handle thinking of being watched all the time. It would freak me out.
I've been watching you for about an hour already. Did you film it? And also it says here, if you wasn't going to go in the jungle, which one of the girls or lad would you like to see in there?
Oh, do you know what? Sarah or Nadine would be amazing TV in there. I would love to see it. I really would.
Would they be OK with all the critters? And
no, that's why I want to see it.
Just to see them squirm.
No, just be funny.
We have a phone call. We've got Jess from Somerset. Hello, Jess.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi. Hi, good, thanks.
Good. What would you like to ask our panel?
Basically, Joey Essex for starters done absolutely amazing in the food trial specifically. And don't you think the boys are handling him? He's like the boy version of Amy, good-looking, young alpha male. Don't you think the boys are handling him a lot better than the girls being bitchy towards Amy, really?
Yeah, well, I suppose guys don't really... That's just girls and guys, isn't it?
Yeah, that's you girls, isn't you? You're just generally quite bitchy.
Yeah, I don't know why we do.
I've got two sisters and my mum, so I didn't mean
stick together, Laura.
We stick together. Yeah. When you see his mother will be watching this and you're going to be in trouble after this show, so you behave.
I just think it's when boys get together, they generally just take each other on the level. When girls, they kind of look... I don't know what I was saying there.
And they kind of...
that was definitely going somewhere. I don't know where it was going to win.
As well. You be careful. Girls help the situation. Like we saw Mo, like they're that motherly figure as well. You don't get that from the guys. So there is a balance
you do a bit.
True. There's a few guys in there that
Steve Davis is quite fatherly in there.
Kim's like that with Alfonso when he was crying.
Wrong. I'm just here asking the questions. I'm trying to get
sensitive.
You're taking sides and you shouldn't be. You should be down the middle.
You stop causing trouble, you know. Thank you very much, Jess, from Somerset. You're on my bad side now. Anyway, Kimberley, got a question for you. Now the camps have merged, who do you think will form an unusual friendship? We've seen some unusual friendships there already. Who do you think is kind of unusual in there that could get along?
Do you know what? I think it's quite nice to see the relationship between David and...
Steve.
No, Layla.
Layla, yeah.
Actually, because they're so different, like they're such different characters from completely different walks of life, and it'll be nice to see if they get a little bond going on.
Yeah.
I would like to see that.
That is the great thing about the show. What else have we got there?
We've got some more questions as well for Kimberley and Brian. Who do you think, if Amy got picked for the trial, do you think it's because of the argument?
I actually do think it probably is, which is slightly unfair, but I think now, as Brian said earlier, it's her chance to kind of, you know, put things right a bit, and if she has got a little bit more to her, which hopefully she does, then we're going to see it today, which is good.
Exactly. Hopefully this will be her chance to prove herself.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, guys. It's been a pretty emotional day, but how has it affected Rob?